people, man. You know what I'm talking about? It's your partner, man. Who? You know what I'm talking about? It's your partner, man. Who? You know what I'm talking about? It's your partner, man. Who? You know what I'm talking about? Man, it was good with the people, man. How's y'all doing on this soggy Sunday? They ain't gonna never change, folks. This one right here is gonna be called Sympathy Soldier. You know what I'm talking about? You say Sympathy Soldiers? What are you talking about, bro? Oh, we gonna get into it, but before we do that, was good people like hee ha ha, man. You know what I'm talking about? Ken in the pen. All my folks incarcerated, all my folks who ain't, bro. Everybody on the bottom of that thing, everybody on top of that thing. Keep that head up, you know what I'm talking about? Keep pushing. We gonna get through it to get to it, man. You know what I'm talking about? Did I say Ken in the pen, man? I don't know, but if I didn't, go get that stick up in stores now. You can go get you some off of 76 MacArthur Johns Liquor is what I'm talking about. 82nd Hillside Barbershop. They say somebody put them in their stores in the hundreds. Thank you, young man. Now, you know because I tell you every morning, but just in case you don't mess with me or you don't like me, you know what I'm talking about. No fear. It's all here. You can still come get them from me, buddy. You know what I'm talking about? They say, what you gonna do right here, man? The famous sprinkler. Sprinkler system on you, man. You say, what, bruh? Sprinkler system on you. You know what I'm talking about, man? Also my stores. Funkadie trying, you know what I'm talking about? Make sure you go get you one. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, man, my get up the field. You know what I'm talking about? They say, bro, yo, get up the field, man. My get up the field. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, my get up the field, man. You say, bro, it's them hard. Y'all don't know about the goggles. You know what I'm talking about? In due time, man. In due time. You know what I'm talking about? Now, oh, yeah, just think, but if all else fails, and I mean if all else fails, man, you know what I'm talking about? Make sure you go to Amazon and get you one of these hardbacks right here, man. You know what I'm talking about? Make sure you go get you one. Uh-oh, what's that? Swing that finger, young man. You know what I'm talking about? Worldwide INC, man. You know what I'm talking about? Worldwide Incorporated, man. You know what I'm talking about? Come on with it, bro. Worldwide. Hey, you gonna say, what does that mean? I'm gonna say, hey, you know what I'm talking about? It means everybody. You say, what, bro? Hey, you know what I'm talking about? Everybody included, bro. And Dugu, Mike, Cutthroat, Lil Rue, not Lil Rube, Lil Rue. You know what I'm talking about? Tata the player, that's who comes next. Same thing, bruh. Everybody on the bottom of that thing, everybody on top of that thing, man. Keep that head up. You know what I'm talking about? Keep pushing. We gonna get through it to get to it, man. Now let's get through these disclaimers. But before we do that, my mama says, and my mama always said, brush them whiskers when you on TV, boy. You know what I'm talking about? Especially on Sunday. You know what I'm talking about, man? I almost forgot. Coffee Chronicles, piping hot. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Now, good brother like, let's get to the, now, good brother like myself, man, I don't promote no drug usage. Good brother like myself, I don't promote no drug sellage. Myself, I don't promote no alcohol consumption. Don't you take a sip, other sip, you know what I'm talking about? No, I don't do it. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, man, I ain't got, I don't promote no, crime. You know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, man, I don't promote no violence, you know what I'm talking about? Like myself, I don't promote no domestic violence, you know what I'm talking about? Keep your hands off the people, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Don't, you know what I'm talking about? Promote, you know what I'm talking about? No. Negativity, you know what I'm talking about? No. You know what I'm talking about? Me, man, I don't promote shit. You know what I'm talking about? They was talking to me, man, I don't promote shit. You know what I'm talking about? Nah, man, me, man. All I promote is y'all go ahead and do what you're going to do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you find the right thing to do with your time, young ladies and gentlemen, because we just don't know how much of it we got. You know what I'm talking about? But a good brother like myself, man, I ain't prejudiced, no. Good brother like myself, I ain't got nothing against the sexually different, man. No, you know what I'm talking about? Good brother like myself, I ain't got nothing against the little people. No, man, you know what I'm talking about? Me, man, I ain't got nothing against nobody. You know what I'm talking about? They was talking to me. Man, I just love me some everybody. You know what I'm talking about, man? As a matter of fact, I'm on a quest. You know what I'm talking about? Bring that peace. You know what I'm talking about? That joy. You know what I'm talking about? That love. You say what, bro? That love. Back to the YouTube community, man. You with me? Come on over here, man. Come fuck with your partner. Hey, check it out. Come fuck with a nigga one time, man. Man, what's good with the people? How y'all doing out there, man? You know what I'm talking about? On this soggy Sunday, they ain't gonna never change, man. I might have a good one for y'all. I got a good one for you. You know what I'm talking about? I say, bro, what you talking about? Shout out to everybody who wouldn't have listened to Army to serve their country, but didn't mind serving the community. I got 3 for 25. I see. Wait. Gotta look out for the people, man. They say, what's going on today, bro? Oh, hold on, man. I got a good one for you. It's called Sympathy Soldiers. You know what I'm talking about? Hey! It's called Sympathy Soldiers, right? But before I even get into my day, soggy Sunday, they ain't gonna never change. Cause we was up this morning, I I ain't gonna say going back and forth, right? But I'm gonna tell you, man, we got to yeah, this shit right here, courtesy of my nigga Scan. You know what I'm talking about? And this shit right here is called Blue Slushy. You know what I'm talking about? Blue Slushy. You know what I'm talking about? Nephew says old man, old lady. Nephew says old man, old lady. Hey, what'd you say, bro? Old lady. You know what I'm talking about? Blue Slush. You know what I'm talking about? That's what this shit is right here, man. But yeah, man. So I was having we talking this morning. Now, y'all, you probably don't know, but bro be trying to stay up out of the heated debate. You know what I'm talking about, in real life. So, what's going on in these times? Now, this ain't really got nothing to do with my day. But I'm going to tell you where baby cuz just furious and got me burnt up at. Because I'm tired of all this shit right here, man. I've been tired of it, you know what I'm talking about? You could go to somebody else with that shit. You can't come to me with that shit. So, it's a big old popular, oh yeah, it's a big old popular conversation floating around this motherfucker about these niggas and bitches. So, we got a bunch of other motherfuckers. For some reason, they done turned everybody into a relationship expert. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm seeing more motherfuckers that don't even got no bitch nor no nigga who's leading the spokespeople for the niggas and bitches and type shit. Some motherfuckers saying something, of course they come around in my they come around the breath. Hey! They come around the breath, right? So of course Brett is gonna give you some I'm gonna lay it on you soft. So when you come asking me a question, bruh, I'm gonna always tell you something like, man, I don't know, you feel me? I believe everybody should just, I think everybody should stop listening to everybody as a whole, and you kind of got to just find out what's good for you. You get what I'm saying? So I don't believe in this type of bitch, this type of nigga and all that. I believe in you just got to find the person for you. So I say some shit like that. Now, it's just like that, y'all seen Coming to America when them niggas was up in there talking about the boxers. And my nigga say, every time you get to talking about Muhammad Ali or something, these white people pull Rocky Marciano up out their ass. Now, every time you get to talking about some niggas and bitches, bruh, one of these niggas are pull Kevin Samuels up out their ass, right? And once again, R.I.P. to the fallen, man. I don't, that just wasn't no shit I was going by. But if somebody say something, like if somebody, they always gonna come around with some old kind of Kevin Samuels saying, you know what I'm talking about? And then they try to project, I don't know who made that nigga the spokesperson for, I don't, man, rest in peace, but I don't know who made that nigga the spokesperson for, niggas. Now, I try to tell this nigga, bro, listen, the only niggas that was, I don't know, that was brainwashed by that shit is niggas who can't roast the bitch they self. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of niggas, they like watching that nigga because that nigga, he'll go, I ain't gonna even say he was going hard on, them hoes was just, unintelligent. You get what I'm saying? They was just unintelligent. I say, bro, what you talking about? You up here hating on Kevin Samuels. No, I'm not. And that's how we got to this conversation right here. Because every time you don't agree with something that this nigga done said, now you're deemed a hater and don't know what you're talking about. Let me tell you niggas something about the baby cuz. And this is why y'all irritate me. Nigga, I come up here and give you game off the shit I've been through. And you niggas will sit here, you don't even have your own life experience. And you'll try to come up here and argue me, a nigga with life experience, with some other nigga ideology. I use my own ideology, bruh. You get what I'm saying? I've been around this motherfucker doing that shit myself. You get what I'm talking about? I've been on this motherfucker, you know what I'm talking about, chasing my pecans. I've been in this motherfucker, you know what I'm talking about, Ronnie Romance. You can't tell me nothing about no bitch, bruh. You get what I'm saying? I ain't never had no problem with no bitch, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? You say you ain't never had no. I had problems with bitches. I'm talking about getting the bitch, bruh. I ain't never had them problems, folks. So for you to try to come up here and argue me about a life I didn't live with another nigga fantasy, that's how we even got to Sympathy Soldier, bruh. I don't be intaking this shit like you niggas do. I don't be having heroes and shit, bruh. I'm my own hero, nigga. I done did this shit myself. I don't need to listen to another one of these niggas talking about a bitch. I don't. But that shit gets on my nerves, bruh. Especially when it comes to that brother right there. He was a good brother. Shout out Kevin Samuels, R.I.P. That's not my logic, though, bruh. I developed my own logic, nigga, from running this motherfucking world myself, bruh. So when I'm telling you shit I've seen myself, don't come up here telling me what somebody else said, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? If we gonna get in one of them type of conversations, bruh, Come to me with your life experience. Don't come tell me what some other nigga told because he was popular. And I don't give a fuck about that shit, bruh. Because if you want to keep it real with me that don't nobody want to say, bruh, one of the reasons that this fantasy fairy tale ass shit going on, bruh. There ain't nobody else gonna tell you that. And then when I tell you, they gonna say, I'm hating. But look, bruh. Bruh was the even one to put that ideal in people's head about that fantasy ass high value man type shit, bruh. Now all of a sudden everybody running around here saying this shit. Now a nigga with like me with my own logic, I got a question for y'all. Because when the nigga was coming up here saying that shit, the nigga said that shit was like 1, 2, maybe 3. It wasn't no higher than 5% of people in the world. So if it was only 5% of the people in the world when he was alive, bruh, how the fuck did that motherfucker move up to 50% of the world now? Because you ask anybody, they high value. Now the bitches running around talking about high, bruh, he the one that kind of started that fairy tale ass shit. When there's no such thing. All the nigga did, you motherfuckers just goofy. That nigga started a conversation he could never be questioned in. And that's all he did, bruh. Shout out, he found his game, but I wasn't listening to that shit, bruh. I could roast a bitch. I've been roasting hoes since junior high, kindergarten even. You know what I'm talking about? I've been roasting a bitch. So I didn't find game in a lot of that shit, bruh. A lot of that shit sound like high power tricking to me. If you just want to keep it real with bruh, that shit sounded like high power tricking. You know what I'm talking about? But let's get back to what I was saying. So if this nigga started a conversation, he was only talking about 2% of people in the world. Then he'll have one of these hoes come up here from Alvin Groom in the back of K-Tron somewhere trying to explain why she deserve a nigga that's only 2% in the world. You're never going to win that conversation, folks. Because there's only 2% of people in the world, bruh. So what I'm trying to tell niggas is, a nigga came around this motherfucker and created an invisible conversation that you wouldn't gonna never win. And somehow y'all done try to let this shit drift into the, man, come on, bro. You can't get me with that shit. I've lived my own life. But the moral to this motherfucking story was, bro, don't come trying to have a conversation with me with another nigga ideology, man. That's all I'm saying. I don't give a fuck what nobody said, bro. I'm telling you some shit from where I live, where I've been. I done fucked with my fair share of bitches, bro. I done been around this motherfucker myself, bro. I don't need to take one of these niggas' advice, bro. All these niggas gonna tell you is the cheapest place you could buy the baddest bitch. That's the only game these niggas spreading around. They gonna tell you where you could get the bitch that you deem bad, nigga, for a few dollars, bro. Niggas paying for companionship, folks. And to me, that just ain't no game. So I ain't the nigga sitting around talking about motherfucking bitches, niggas, and all this. All I ain't, bro. You know what I'm talking about? I'm one of them niggas that could go out there and get what's for him. I've always went out there and got what was for me. Coffee Chronicles. Nephew says old man, old lady. Nephew says old man, old lady. Hey, what you say, bruh? Old lady. You know what I'm talking about? That shit had baby cuz hot this morning, though. Because the motherfucker be wanting to sing, bruh. I don't deem nobody, I don't be putting nobody game above mine, bruh. Now, I done heard niggas with game, you know what I'm talking about? And I just intake it. You know what I'm talking about? Use what I need to use up out of it, bruh. But I get tired of motherfuckers, like you be in a regular conversation now, bruh, in the real world. And it ain't just Kevin Samuels, it's any one of these people, bruh. You talking about some shit from, some shit you actually went through, bruh. And the motherfucker be wanting to come over here and start a conversation about some shit somebody else done said, bruh. You ain't even lit. You using somebody else's ideology, bruh. And I don't even want to be in no conversation. Just like I keep on telling people, bruh. I don't even want to be wanting to talk about that shit, bruh. Because I understand you don't have your own common sense. You out here using everybody else's rebuttal. You know what I'm talking about? You entering a conversation with everybody else, some shit you done heard from everybody else, man. And I just don't want to talk about that shit. But that shit had me lightweight high, folks. Because the motherfucker always want to pull Kevin Samuels out their ass talking about what he said about this. I mean, of course he was roasting the bitch, bruh. Of course. And a lot of shit he said, bruh, with none of them people gonna be able to fuck with him because it was an imaginary conversation from the beginning. Do you get what I'm saying? You sitting up here trying to tell somebody why you deserve a motherfucker that's only 2% of the world, bruh. But it went from 2% all of a sudden to 50%. That's what got y'all fucked up now. Because high value stuck in your head. You get what I'm saying? So you walking around this motherfucker and you basically want somebody just to take care of you. That's all you want. You want a high value man. That's where everything start off. You notice when they be asking these motherfuckers about what they want out of that shit start off with some money and whatever a motherfucker could do for them. They tell you how they want to be treated. You get what I'm saying? Then when you ask a motherfucker, well, what are you gonna do? They come with the simplest shit. They gonna say, I cook, I clean, and once again, bro, whatever you want to do, you could do. Cause that's how that old dumbass conversation even started, bro. You get what I'm saying? Because look, bro, if you single, it's cool. You just single. If you got a bitch, you got a nigga, that's cool. You just in a relationship, man. You got somebody. None of that shit is better than what the next motherfucker doing. So the whole conversation even started off on some J-Cat shit like this. Because everybody want a high side. You get what I'm saying? The people who in a relationship, they trying to act like the people who single, or by my way anyway, is like they trying to high side on them with that. Acting like you need somebody. Maybe this motherfucker don't, bruh. If you single, you just single. Do your thing. And then you got the motherfucker who's single, and now he trying to high side on the people with like, man, I live by myself. You know what I'm talking about? I could do it like you basically free. You're single. Conversation don't even make no sense. Then they get the paying the just bills and all kind of shit, cause motherfucker get the high side like that. Like, you gotta pay my own bills, bro. You supposed to. Whatever situation you in, bro, it's on you to take care of that situation because that's the situation you in. You get what I'm saying? It just is, bro. Ain't none of that shit better than the next thing. But everybody, like, it just don't make no sense. I told you, we quick to come up here and high side with nothing. Now, that's how we even got the Sympathy Soldier right there, folks. Because that's what we are now. That's what they teaching you to be. They teaching your ass to be a sympathy soldier. I told you, as soon as the word monkey see, monkey do. All it took is for the other lying ass bitch to come out here with 98 parts to some old bullshit. You get what I'm saying? Now everybody doing that. Now everybody wants to come to the forefront. Now we've been doing it, but since she made it popular, watch how popular that shit gets. Now everybody just finna come tell you their story because they seen this bitch lie. You know what I'm talking about? First fantasy motherfucker. Just come tell you anything like they got did so wrong, bruh. You know why you'll never be able to get baby cuz with that shit? Because you could have left. That's why you'll never be able to get me to believe somebody did you wrong when you stayed around them. Because you stayed around them for your own gain. And then we wants to come tell the story about our decision and wants to point like we little hoes or something. Like, y'all see that? Y'all see how they did me? And I'm, man, fuck that shit, bruh. Keep pushing. Sympathy Soldier, it's just Sympathy Soldier. Soggy Sunday, they ain't gonna never change. You'll be surprised how many motherfuckers out here act like, I don't know if you could think for yourself or not, but y'all act like you can't think for yourself. And that's always a bad thing, folks. Coffee Chronicles. But motherfuckers sitting around this motherfucker want sympathy. For shit you go through. For a decision you got. And you know why I ain't never liked that shit, bruh? Because, first of all, they just making the world soft. Nigga, how I was raised, bruh, my grandma, a woman, single black mother, told me, don't never cry about it. Roll with the punches. That's what my grandma, a black single woman told me. You don't never cry about it. You roll with the punches. You know what I'm talking about? It don't make no use to cry about it, bruh. It don't. But now we not even crying about like fuck ups. You get what I'm saying? Like it wasn't even your fault and some bad shit happened. You know what I mean? Like you just bought I don't know, a brand new house and the motherfucker burnt down some kind of way. Nigga, you didn't have fire insurance or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Even though that would still be your fault. Like just something accidental or real fucked up. You know what I'm talking about? We be crying about shit we did. We'll go buy a car, then when that motherfucker break down, nigga, we act like somebody got us. Even when you walked up out that motherfucker, it said, as is. It said, as is. Now, you done walked up and that motherfucker done broke down. And you complain about it. Didn't nobody get you right there, bro. You got yourself. You got yourself. I mean, we sitting up here sympathy soldiers. We be wanting y'all to feel sorry for us about shit we chose. And why I ain't never like that, because now if you go buy that car and that motherfucker come off the lot running, nigga, you know what I'm talking about? Like an 89, 90 National, nigga, then it's all good. You know what I'm talking about? It's all good then. But if we pull that motherfucker out and it break down, then we need sympathy. Something straight out of comic book, bruh. Sympathy Soldier. Soggy Sunday. Dang, gonna never change. But like, you can't sit around me and start that conversation, then ask my opinion. I'm not even gonna get in your conversation, folks. I'm gonna be doing whatever I'm gonna be doing my best to try to stay away from your conversation, folks. I am. You know what I'm talking about? Then motherfucker asks you can't even be like, man, I ain't really got no opinion about that. They gonna keep on egging you. No, we need to know your opinion, because I told you, bro, when you got them type of motherfuckers, bro, and you the motherfucker who ain't on that, most of the time you finna be the referee. You finna be the referee or whatever the fuck they talking about. Even though you wouldn't listen to none of that shit. And that shit bad game to me. That shit agitating, irritating even. You know what I'm talking about? Nephew, sis, old man, old lady. Nephew, sis, old man, old lady. What you say, bro? Old lady. You know what I'm talking about? That shit irritating to a nigga like me, bro. Nigga trying to watch the basketball game. Nigga, the hoes fight. Nigga, you know what I'm talking about? Somebody just jumped out the stands, nigga. That shit crazy, folks. I'm watching something I find entertaining. You know what I'm talking about? Hoes out here fighting, man. They down there pushing each other down. They a little bit rough this morning. They a little bit rough. Everybody got a little bit of edge to them. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody nigga done hopped out the stands. You know what I'm talking about? That shit was lightweight entertaining, bruh, in the middle of the basketball game. You feel me? We sitting around here with the sympathy shit, bruh. That ain't even no conversation to me, folks. I don't see why there's so many bitches complaining about a nigga, and there's so many niggas complaining about a bitch. And it be seeming like, I say, the bitches, y'all actually be complaining about motherfuckers you didn't already had kids by. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't. You know what I'm talking about? And niggas complaining about a bitch that, like, I just don't be wanting to hear that shit, bruh. Because it's on you to fix it. If you don't like what's going on, you could just leave. You could just leave. You can go find you something else to do. And 30 motherfuckers gonna, this the good one for when you tell a motherfucker that. It's like they get mad. Then the next thing they be saying like, man, you don't know what's going on. Motherfuckers got kids. Or woo. Well, that was your motherfucking problem. That was your motherfucking problem. Because if this motherfucker is that much of a problem to you, it seemed like you did everything else fast. That's what I would think. Because I ain't never just meeting a bitch and we finna have some kids, bruh. You see, I only got one. You feel me? Now, I ain't just finna be in a hurry and do all that shit, then you lock yourself in. Then you sitting around here, you got all this shit with a motherfucker you don't even like. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, bruh. Because even if you wasn't violent, y'all wouldn't have, what's that, rough, rowdy, what's that shit? Y'all be toxic. Even if you wasn't none of that shit and you still didn't like the bitch, the kids still finna see, you know what I'm talking about, bruh? They still finna see you not like they mama. Whether you loud with it or not. You get what I'm saying? That shit don't make no sense. But we don't never want to think first. We always want to do something then complain about it. We take so much time out to think about this shit after we fucked up. Now, we would have just put a little bit of, just a third of that time into the shit we was finna just jump into, bruh. It would have came across your head right then and there. But we don't be doing that on earth. We like to fuck up, then complain about the fuck up. But we only complain about the fuck up. Because if we fuck around and make it happen, we high side. Coffee Chronicles. Yeah, if everything goes smooth, we high side. We know everything again. And all you got to do is just do it like me. You know what I'm talking about? And that shit just something straight out of comic book to bruh. It is. But I ain't gonna lie, y'all probably can see bruh agitated, irritated as a motherfucker. I just get tired of that shit, bruh. I do. Because I don't even be paying attention to this shit like that. Half the motherfuckers that motherfuckers be having game, bruh. Don't be having, that shit ain't nothing but snake oil. You know what I'm talking about? That shit ain't nothing but snake oil, bruh. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's just snake oil. See, if you'll listen, you'll just see, like, you'll just see all the bullshit inside of the bullshit. You get what I'm saying? That should be, like I said, snake oil, bruh. I got enough of life experiences myself to go off of, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? I don't even be considering that shit game. I consider that shit snake oil. You know what I'm talking about? I don't consider that shit game. So all that shit, all them people that got you juice and all that, that's cool for you, bro. But yeah, bro, don't be rocking like that. I don't. I got my own game. I keep telling you. I've lived long enough and ran around this motherfucker enough to develop my own game, folks. Which has been doing me just fine. You know what I'm talking about? Has been doing me just fine. To the current. You know what I'm talking about? On some real shit. So if you want to stay brainwashed and you want to adopt one of these niggas' ideologies, that's all to you, bro. You know what I'm talking about? But the more and more you adopt this shit, y'all sound like big ass babies. You do. Cause it don't make no sense to me for you to come up here talking about these bitches. Like I don't get these bitches. Cause I don't know all the bitches in the world, bruh. I only know the bitches I've come in contact with. And every bitch I've ever come in contact with, the moment that I seen, you know what I'm talking about, that this shit might not work or this shit ain't for me, I was gone, bruh. You get what I'm saying? I didn't sit around and fuck with the bitch, then complain about it. You know what I'm talking about? Because there's only two things you could do with anybody, bitch or a nigga. You could either accept that shit or not. But that decision right there is clearly on you. Can't nobody force you into doing shit. But somehow we sit around people to complain about them. And if you notice, these days we just sit around and complain about everything. So it don't even matter. It don't even matter. I told you, you're going to shit on your blessing. You're going to be wishing you had something. And the moment you get that, you're going to start complaining about that. That ain't good enough for you. You know what I'm talking about? Now you on to the next thing. You ain't going to never be satisfied. You know what I'm talking about? Sympathy Soldier. Soggy Sunday. That ain't going to never change. Yeah, man. But like I said, I'm getting tired of that shit because I don't even be listening to these motherfuckers, bruh. And when a motherfucker bring that shit to you, and like, bruh, that shit ain't no game to me. If you just would listen, it's just like the Bible. You know what I'm talking about? But if you would listen, you would see that shit yourself. But you don't even want to listen. Then the first thing a nigga want to say is a motherfucker hating. That like, about like if a nigga station bigger than yours or they famous, why does that gotta be hate, bruh? That wasn't no good game. That was actually bad game. This nigga actually started big ass fantasy fairy tales that got y'all everywhere right now. Talking about what a motherfucker got to do with you and shit have right now. Shit don't make no sense. It doesn't. Told you these people will be playing a number game with y'all and just tell you anything once you get to listening. That shit don't make no sense, folks. And every time you tell a motherfucker something like that, like, the same person that used to say, man, if you're not married or been engaged for, they was like, engagements don't even matter. If you ain't married, whatever come out your mouth don't mean nothing. Or about to get married. Nothing out your mouth mean nothing. And this basically it was like, nigga, if you wasn't married, you couldn't say nothing. And this was coming out of the mouth of a motherfucker who wasn't married. So if you apply your own logic to you, whatever you were saying didn't mean nothing. But if you say something like that, bro, they gonna say, you hating. I just get like, bro, I ain't hating on nobody. That shit didn't make no sense. But it made sense to you, and that's cool. It just didn't make sense to me. And you not gonna be able to make that shit make sense to me. Because I'm one of them niggas that can see through all the bullshit that's going on. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't gonna never make that shit make sense to me. You ain't. It was an imaginary conversation from the beginning. That got everybody stuck in the fantasy now. Now most of the world is looking for a motherfucker that when we started the conversation, it was only 2% anyway. In the world. But somehow, we gonna find that motherfucker. Coffee Chronicles. I mean, you can, but you know what I'm talking about? motherfucker started a needle in a haystack conversation from the jump that he was never gonna be able to lose. Because in the end, what makes you worthy of only 2% of the motherfucker in the world? You ain't gonna never be worthy, folks. But yet and still people will call up and argue how they were worthy. That's why you wasn't gonna never win that conversation, folks. Never. And once again, I respect game. The whole, that shit just wasn't no game. Like I said, the baby cuz, it's your partner, light skinned DB stalk, all that shit right there, bruh. That shit sound like high power tricking. That's all it was. Really wasn't no game to me. High power tricking and roast a bitch. But where is that gonna get you with a bitch? Because if that was only 2%, it's a good chance you wouldn't part of that 2%. So where is that gonna get you with a bitch? Coffee Chronicles. All that did was create a fantasy about a motherfucker you ain't gonna never find. So everybody else that ain't high value niggas bums. That's all that shit did. It got you looking for a motherfucker you ain't gonna never find. And since you can't find this motherfucker that barely exists, everybody else gonna be bums because they not part of the 2%. That's all it did, bruh. That's all it did. Soggy Sunday. That ain't gonna never change. But sympathy soldiers. You know what I'm talking about? And we living in a world of I want to be rewarded for my decisions, for my bad decisions. That's all that is. That's all that is. I want to be rewarded for my bad decisions. So I go over here, get a bitch. And since the bitch got bankroll, you know what I'm talking about? I'm just sitting around getting lazy or whatever. And talking about, nigga, I don't know, the bitch said she was going to buy me a Pink Panther, nigga, you know what I'm talking about? The real one, though, from inside the cartoon. You know what I'm talking about? The bitch was going to buy me that. And when the bitch don't buy me that, I could come up here and say, that bitch didn't buy me Pink Panther. You know what I'm talking about? I could come up here and say some shit like that and get sympathy. Y'all weird, man. Something straight out of comic book. I ain't gonna lie to you. And all that shit right there, bruh, is that's how we just even got to where we at right now. On some real shit. That's just how we got to all this old bullshit, dumbass chaos, period. It is. Because everybody around this motherfucker just on some invisible fantasy ass shit. And I ain't gonna lie to you. He wanna know what's wrong, that's what's wrong, because they got everybody running around here in the motherfucking fantasy. They got bitches talking about some nigga they ain't gonna never find. Then everybody else just bums like it's just all over the place. And in the end, how is that gonna help you? You know what I'm talking about? All these bitches from the streets and all that. How is that gonna help you? So what's your alternative? What you gonna do about it then? Since that's all that's out here. Because to me it sound like they trying to get you niggas to be Sagoonies. I don't know. That's just that's just what Bruh saying. But on some real shit. You gonna, I told you they just creating a world of no accountability. But like I was saying yesterday, man, you gonna have to sign, seal, and submit your own contribution to the game, folks. So you better get out this fantasy world, nigga and bitch. And nephew says, old man, old lady. Hey, nephew says, old man, old lady. Hey, what you say, bruh? Old lady. You know what I'm talking about? You better get up out this motherfucking fantasy. Like you gonna find somebody who gonna put more work into you than you willing to put into yourself. Y'all better wake the fuck up. Before that shit just be, you just gonna wake up and realize, nigga, you just been in the fantasy zone for hella long. That's all you gonna do, bruh. So like we running around here with all this sympathy soldier shit and feel sorry for me and feel bad for me, man. Man, listen, bruh. You better while you putting in the energy and doing that shit right there, bruh. You better put the energy in, nigga, to be finding your way, folks. You know what I'm talking about? Just better be finding it, because they getting the stupid as a motherfucker. I was just looking at some shit last night, a motherfucker was getting whooped. You know what I'm talking about, on some dumb shit. Motherfucker to get lied, talking about, What point is, let me ask y'all something. I'm finna get up out of here. What point is it to go live to say you don't feel safe? If you didn't feel safe, don't you think you would be calling some, like your folks or something? Like, bro, come check me out real quick. This shit, you know what I'm talking about? Don't you think you would be trying to, put in the effort, nigga, to secure your safety? I don't get that. And that's the state they got us in. They got us talking to a phone, talking about how unsafe we feel. Now we done put ourselves at a disadvantage because we only got one hand. There's a bunch of shit going on around us, but we still trying to get attention from this invisible motherfucking camera or the people that you seen in the world. We still trying to get the world's attention about when something finna happen to us. Like the world just gonna pop up. Like, where you at? Here we come. You putting yourself at a disadvantage, bruh. If you don't feel safe, nigga, you should be coming up with your plan. Or use your phone to call for some motherfucking help. And I ain't talking about the rollers. But trying to get some people, you know what I'm talking about? Try to get somebody to slide through that motherfucker real quick, you know what I'm talking about? Just in case we gotta wake this motherfucker up. But it don't make no sense, folks. For you to be in danger. And you still trying to talk to some invisible people. So you done put yourself at risk to tell somebody you don't know that you feel you in danger. Don't you think that conversation is for somebody that you know for real? But what do I know? Only you could prevent forest fires, man. And with that one right there, if you don't remember nothing else, man, always remember, it don't cost nothing just to show a little bit of that love.